All right, who had a chance to see the Kevin Hart roast?
I did. I
watched it.
The Kevin Hart roast was live on Netflix. Shout out to Netflix.
Yep.
Stop catcalling.
Mini skirts everywhere.
Hey, Netflix. Hey, Nettie.
Netflix. Yeah, the Kevin Hart roast was live on Netflix. If you tuned in, you were able to rewind it and start it from scratch. But I caught the entire thing. Interested to hear thoughts before I get. Yeah, actually, no. Some people out there are against bringing white people to the cookout. Not mad at y'all.
I'm one of them.
You against bringing white people to the cookout?
Yes.
So, go ahead.
So let's put those people to the side for a second. Some people ain't mad at white people coming to the cookout, but one harsh reality we got to deal with is some black people don't have good +1 credit with you.
Yes.
So you could bring the wrong white person to the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Kill Tony being invited to this event.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Tony Hinklich, whatever his name is, or Kill Tony. And it hurts because he's funny. He's a funny racist.
He had a funny set, but I don't f him.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Which is, that's the thing that gets you caught between a rock and a hard place. He is funny. But he's a racist piece of shit. And when it's a Joe Rogan event or a Tom Brady roast or a white person roast, I have no problem because I know how a lot of y'all really feel about us. So if that's where y'all want to get y'all shit off, go right ahead. That's y'all's space. At a black event with black excellence such as Kevin Hart, why the fuck do I need to see Kill Tony? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why is this a black event?
Well, it's because they're honoring Kevin Hart.
That's a good point.
It's not a black event though. That's what I immediately.
An
I'm
event
like,
for black people. An event honoring a black person.
Okay.
I do think that's an important distinction, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
So
It is very-
that was a good point.
Yeah, and I think Kev's comedy world is more complex than that.
True.
You know, I think he celebrates black comedians. His whole crew, Plastic Cup Boys, shout out to them, are great, all black comedians.
Shout out to Naeem, who we had up here.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Spank and the
Spank,
guys.
my guy.
You know how we feel about the guys. We love the guys.
But he also rocks with white comedians. He's a comedy legend, so he's in the mix with all those people. And also, there's a roast culture, especially at Comedy Central and at Netflix, that you're gonna see the Nikki Glazers, you're gonna see the Jeff Rosses, you're gonna see those people. So
Jeff Ross killed.
He did.
Jeff Ross killed.
I think he's an executive producer on the show too. So.
Should be. He should be.
And at every roast, he should be
he's a
involved.
guy.
He's a roast master.
He kills.
But like you said, a couple of them picks, I was like, I don't know. And then some of it wasn't who was telling the joke, it was also who was writing the joke. Because, you know, some of the non-comedian celebrities that's up there, there's writers that are making these jokes for them.
Yeah.
And it was like some of them it's like they made extra effort to make the joke as wild and cringy as possible. And sometimes it worked, and to me, sometimes a couple times it didn't.
A lot of times it didn't.
It was
The Kill Tony George Floyd joke
horrible.
That was one of them.
was horrible. And I felt like Kev smiling during it was horrible, even if that's him with his game face on.
yeah.
He has to keep that.
I'm about to
game
say,
face
what do you do in that moment?
on. He has to.
Like I'm watching him get killed for that.
He has to keep the game.
But in
face
that
on.
moment, and
There's nothing you can do in the moment.
Right.
The action,
There is.
Oh, please.
What can you do? What?
Yeah,
Kick 'em
he's
off?
right. Yeah.
That's what you do.
You can make it look like you're not okay with that joke. The
Right.
same way if you're in the shtick, you made it look like that when The Rock was talking about screwing your wife as a bit. It was a very uncomfortable bit. I thought that bit was cringy too.
Yeah, it was.
But I didn't put it on The Rock because he didn't write that.
The nipple
Tony
thing, too,
and the
was-
George Floyd shit. Actually, before he said the George Floyd shit, I was tight because they said Tony looks like, this was during somebody else's roast. I forgot, maybe it was Pete, I don't remember. Tony looks like at the slave master that makes his slaves do musicals. That's funny. Everybody laughed. And he felt the need to get up and act that out and turn around to where all the black people were sitting line behind him and do the musical.
Conduct the shit.
Somebody needs to slap the shit out of him. That's not okay while we honor the black person. It's not okay. I get it. It's comedy. We can say what we want. Oh, it's edgy. It's a roast. Everybody got to get him the fuck out of here. No. Do that shit in what's that part of Texas? Yeah. Austin. Do that shit in Austin at Joe Rogan's Comedy Club. Not here, not now. Get the fuck out of here. And he's funny.
No, he's funny.
Yes,
I just
But
think
That
some
one battle after another Lizzo joke was very funny.
the who?
One battle after another Lizzo, the stairs. That shit was funny.
That shit was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, he said shout out to Regina Bell. One of Regina
No, he
Bell.
said Lizzo.
Not
Regina Hall.
Regina Bell. I am an old. He said shout out to Regina Hall for winning the award for one battle after another. That's how Lizzo feels when she looks at the stairs.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hilarious.
No, that shit was funny. Bro, I think
I thought all of the jokes. I'm sorry, Ish. I thought all of the jokes about Cheryl,
Her husband.
I love those.
Nah, man.
Yo,
Yeah.
I,
them shits was
I
great.
love those.
I mean-
I loved every joke about Cheryl's husband committing suicide.
I had to look up to see when it happened.
It's been like 30 years.
And then once I saw that it was in 1990, I'm like, all right. And Shane Gillis, who killed as the host,
I didn't like him as a
kept
host.
saying,
like him
I
either.
liked him as the host,
I love
but he
Shane
kept
Gillis.
saying, "Yo, I spoke to her."
No, and see, I think that matters. I think
Like,
if
I
you
talk
spoke
to
to the
these
person,
people.
even the racial jokes, if you spoke to the person, I think that comedians, they teeter the line. The really good ones, they teeter the line.
Yeah.
But you can overstep that line, man. That George Floyd joke is
Yeah.
overstepping the line.
Agreed.
I mean, it was in poor taste. The country was in an uproar over that shit. That shit wasn't funny. There's a lot of that. They really tackled a bunch of political shit in there.
They did.
It was a bunch of homosexual shit in there.
For sure.
A
Trans
lot.
shit in there. A lot.
It was a,
Zionist
there was
joke.
a
They were
bunch
getting
of
their shit off.
Zionist shit in there.
See, but I enjoyed the old school. Hey, we get
Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
I did enjoy that aspect, so I want to differentiate between that and the jokes that I was uncomfortable with, and then I read the jokes that were cut out.
Yeah,
So
the cut
okay,
jokes.
now we back to the BAFTA awards where y'all did cut something out and y'all left the George Floyd joke
No,
in.
it was that. This is what they
I
were
didn't
doing.
love the Pete Davidson, Charlie Kirk.
Well, that's what I was
Joke.
going to say.
That shit was not funny.
People might see it. I don't see it this way.
I don't.
But people might see it as we gave you we gave you one of these
We did
and we
it to
gave you one of
everybody.
these.
We did it to
and so because that room got dead silent, no
It
pun
did.
intended, with the Charlie Kirk shit.
That was a good joke.
It was a good joke, but
That was a
But
good
there,
joke.
but there's,
it was clever. But I wouldn't make that joke.
Yeah, ever.
But
I wouldn't make it.
But I'm just saying, like you could. They gave both sides of the
but then
political
you guys-
spectrum.
and the same way you could say that was a good Charlie Kirk joke because it might not affect
Somebody
us
could
as
feel like
much.
that about George
Somebody
Floyd.
could have said that was a good George
But
Floyd
that's what I'm
joke.
saying.
It just don't affect us. I mean, it affects
I
us.
started with I had a problem with that joke also.
But we give the wrong impression when because you go on record saying that you like dark jokes and you just say I like the old school way. So then there shouldn't is there
There's
a
still a
limit?
line. There's still
It's
a
a
line.
line,
For
bro.
me, there's
It's
still
a line.
a
But a
line.
line not with the old school. Not,
And the
not
Charlie
with
Kirk shit, again, I'm not with it. But if I'm trying to understand it, that's what they are calling political violence.
Yeah.
And was a big topic in that world. Anything political right this second is going to be.
sensitive.
I don't feel like that about police putting the knee to George Floyd for 8 minutes and killing him for all of us to see.
We don't feel like that.
I said
yeah,
it.
it's just us.
But I think both jokes are
Yeah,
to me over the line.
but when Kevin Hart is being celebrated, it is we.
Yes, true.
It is we.
True.
And see, that's what we differ
no,
there.
It's no time for me to figure out how they. Hey, at Joe Rogan event, I'm with it.
We differ there because
That's interesting.
I hear you say that, and I said this is just big money play. This is big business at this point. So now we getting the big names here to tackle everything. I don't look at it as yes, it's a Kevin Hart roast. We celebrating Kevin Hart, but also I'm looking at who's behind that.
Some of the people transcended the black culture at this point, and Kevin Hart is one of them.
Nah, but
He has, Joe.
Granted,
Oh, yeah.
granted, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not.
even the
I'm
list
not
of-
trying to dismiss what y'all are saying. We in the flow of the talk. So when I say nah, I'm not.
Yeah, I got you.
But for Kevin Hart, see, a common theme for Shane and a few of the people that went up there was Kevin Hart don't know how to say no. Kevin Hart, that was the joke.
There was
for the
some good
night.
jokes in that.
Oh, they was killing that.
It can't be a funny movie, so, which means you pass on it. Cat,
He
Cat
can't,
was hitting him with them.
he can't say no to nothing. And that right there highlights the difference for me between him and Dave Chappelle. Because there's not a moment where you're going to see Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is not going to be, for lack of a better term, there's not going to be a millisecond where he appeared to be cooned out.
Corner.
Agreed.
Corner.
And I think that's some of the schlack that Kev has had to deal with. This is one of those instances for me.
Okay.
You got to know that those fine cameras are recording you, and that will be a moment in time, us being able to go back to Tony's bum-ass George Floyd joke and see your reaction. I'm getting too passionate on this, so I'll toss to one of y'all, but I didn't like it, and I keep having to see him because he's funny.
No, I think it was at the end of his set, and I think also a lot of those people, they left the discernment to the person speaking.
It was a lot of that. I'm
Because
not
they
reading
kept
that
saying,
one.
no, come back. No, bring
No,
that
I'm
back.
gonna do that one.
They was passing some of the jokes. Like, if they got the sense that you didn't want to tell that joke on the teleprompter, they would roll it. They were like, no, come back. I ain't finished. Draymond was like, no, bring that back. A few people said, bring it back.
Yeah, it was a couple
like,
of them.
We read in the room. So whoever's working the teleprompter saying, oh, no, that's a little too sensitive. Let's go back past it. That was at the very, very, very end of Kill Tony's set. So Kevin Hart probably was already, I'm not shooting him bail, he was already in the laughter, getting it out of it, and that was the very last joke before he got off the stage.
Kevin Hart is a master of ceremony, and the cameras were on. It's the same rule as up here, so I'm not going to kill him too much. That's just how I feel about Kill Tony.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of the event, I love the watches everybody had on. I got a chance to see. That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Tom Brady, I thought did a remarkable job. He was great.
He killed.
What's the dude's name? Big Jeff?
Big J.
Big J.
Big J? He was funny.
funny.
I liked him.
He was funny.
I like the story about the
it.
$10,000.
He was sincere. He was sincere.
That was fire, that
fire.
story. His demeanor, I liked all of that. Pete Davidson, I thought, did a really good job. That joke where The Rock said to Pete Davidson, you look like a black person as a white
face that went back to white.
Playing the black.
He smoked that joke.
That was
just a really,
shit was funny,
that was a
dog.
really good joke.
Because it makes your brain think, and then they showed the close-up on Pete, you like, oh,
you
shit.
see it.
That's funny, dog.
I want to shout out Chelsea Handler's breasts. Them shits was breasting.
They were.
They was.
Old ass Chelsea Handler.
No, I think everybody did their thing.
No,
I think
slow down. We on Chelsea Handler. Don't try to move past good white milk. Not you. We honoring Chelsea Handler, nigga. Did you see her?
That wasn't good?
Got milk. Did shit move?
Hold on. That wasn't good?
This is the face.
I'm asking you.
Did your shit move a little bit?
Ain't my
Them
thing.
shits was bouncing.
Not even remotely.
You would.
Would I pop?
Yeah.
Of course I pop.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what I'm like.
He
Wait.
confused us when he had
Yo, he
cool.
fucked me up for a second.
Nah, you know how much?
That shit was all right.
And Draymond hit her with that
Oh,
joke.
wait, you for the money.
Oh yeah.
He a gigolo. He a gigolo.
Mini skirt.
Mini skirt.
Mini skirt.
Draymond said he wouldn't hit because Draymond don't hit threes.
That was
that was
a good joke.
Fam,
That's a good joke.
She really was getting her ass whipped up there.
She was.
And she was taking that shit like a G. Like, they was kicking her ass.
Not more than Cheryl Underwood.
Nah,
Yeah,
Cheryl
shit.
caught it
And she was
bad.
funny,
bro.
too.
They
I get
both
Cheryl
did.
business.
No.
Fam,
Man,
they told that
everybody-
bitch
no.
she swallowed all of the that was assaulting the gangs, the black kids, and it was like,
Fam, that
some
nigga-
of them were armed and dangerous. Like, what?
No, they smoked that.
Bro,
too.
they
That
was killing her the whole fight.
But
I think Cheryl caught it the worst.
She did.
They
Cheryl
was
definitely
killing.
caught
They
the
was
worst.
killing her
We
for being
emotionally feel
being a whore, which is a choice.
But it's also
and
abortions.
and
She don't
fucking
have no
black
kids.
men.
No.
Sarah,
But
she's
those
been
are
straight
also
more times in the grill at
Wait, wait.
Benihana.
But those are also the part that those are also jokes that she makes.
Yeah, I think that's different from.
You get what I'm
Cheryl.
saying?
Yo,
Like
bro.
if she makes those jokes and puts that out there, and then people are now just when they roasting her do that, it's a little
That's
different.
how I feel. That's how I feel
Cheryl
about
don't
people.
make them jokes about herself like that, bro.
There was too many jokes just about skin tone for me.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
They said that Cheryl is so black, they had to book Draymond for color balancing.
That shit was funny.
I
bro.
fell out.
So
But it was-
what?
But it
That
was
shit
still
was funny.
I don't give a fuck.
That was a funny ass
You
joke.
racist, nigga.
Fuck with you.
Yo,
That
that
was
shit
funny.
was I'm looking at you
Yeah, you
different
better.
today.
Yeah. You better watch the joke.
I
you
don't
laugh
think
at,
that shit
nigga.
is funny. Like,
You just said it was funny.
No, that joke was funny. I don't think some of that shit is funny.
Mark,
I think
when
a
do-
lot of that shit you teeter the line with, and I'm not really with that.
When can we move? We as in we in the comedy world. When will the comedy world ever move past this? No.
No.
No,
I
I think, and I remember if you watch a lot of comedy, like from like 2020 until like maybe like 2004, 2024, 2025. All the comedy bits were comedians complaining about wokeness and complaining. It was like their whole bit was complaining about how they're pissed at
They
the world
can't-
having to
yeah.
think about this
Yeah,
shit.
they can't be-
So they're going extra hard now. I don't think comedy will ever get. They see it as a sacred space, and I get it. I ain't mad at that.
New Joe Budden.